Hello and welcome to Lightwood Park for this WSL clash between Kingborough and Devoport Strikers. My name's Alex Mummery, joining you down here today. It's a bit of a overcast, windy type of day down here in Kingston. A bit of wind around, maybe some rain, hopefully not. But the conditions are okay for the girls out there playing today. An interesting matchup today. I think Devoport obviously leading the league after a really big win against South Hobart a couple of weeks ago up at Valley Road. Kingborough have been a good side this season, taking points off South Hobart and winning most of their games. They had a bit of a stumble 2 weeks ago, so the last round in the league against Glenorchy Knights, and they'll be wanting to put a better performance out there today. It was, I have to say, a big upset and a bit of a surprise, I'd say, for most keen watchers of the WSL. But I think they have a good chance of getting something out of today, potentially taking all 3 points or getting something out of this one. Also notice Lucy Foote, the captain at Devoport today, so they just have the toss and get sorted out. Quickly run you through the lineups as we get through some more pre-game in the meantime. For Kingborough, the home side, wearing the purple socks and purple ribbons today in honour of Female Football Week, which it is this week. We have the number one, Erica McIntosh, who'll be in goals for them. Danielle Canagisa, stalwart of WSL. Ava Wiley, Amelia Howe, Christabel Moore wearing the number 9. Probably Laura Davis, who'll be playing up front though. Hannah Walsh, Tegan Hennessy, Carol Ashmer, who's a bit of a live wire for the Lions. Anna Fuchs coming over from Clarence this season. And Eloise Payne will round up the 11 for Kingborough. Whereas Devoport have Michaela Mitchell in goal, Daniel Capel, Annalie Bidwell playing in defence. Samantha Hardy, Lucy Foote, and Abby White make up some of that midfield mix for Devoport. Annabelle Wiley and Whitney Knight, which is really the name on everyone's lips the last few weeks, coming into the team for Devoport, and Louise McMullen, Grace Sims and Holly Emmett will round out the 11 for Devoport as we get underway here at Lightwood Park. And it's sort of a quick start, and we'll get taken out through Walsh, and looking for Davis straight away. She does get in behind very well, Laura Davis, one of the pacier players in the WSL. Comes across and will be in the foot direction, and she does get it through to the midfield. Go into Capel. We'll go over the head of Foote. Foote on the run. Nice little step over. Just trying to get around Wiley. And earns a corner for Devoport. So good piece of counter-attacking play from both teams. And Whitney Knight will come across and take the corner for Devoport. She will be a bit of a linchpin for them, you'd imagine, today. And really throughout the season for Devoport. Just reading some of Andrew Cooling's pre-match interviews that you can find on the WSL Hub on Football Tasmania website. Just Tom Ballantyne really talking through how she came to the club. It's a good corner in. The header's not a bad one. Flashes across the back stick. I think that was Danielle Capel. He's leading the line for Devoport today. Yeah, White sort of just... Knight just coming out of a bit of nowhere, really. I kind of almost like that as a coach, not having to do any recruitment, just relocating to Tassie and after a game, and very happy to oblige the former W League player. Hasn't played at that level for a few years. It's good pressing from Lucy Foote, but has been playing around a few different clubs on the mainland. Louise McMullen to take the throw in. The short ball in. Capel will go into the middle. Here's Knight, just a lot of time. Hardy. Avoids Abby White. It's a little weaving run from Annalie Bidwell. Come back to McMullen. Foot. Lovely little interlink play from Devoport. You can really see they've been working on that very hard all season. And the release not quite on target from Walsh. I think Kingborough will be trying to play on the break as much as they can today. Again, with Davis, just such an ever-present counter-attacking a threat. And here she is. She go around the outside. She's got some support in Moore in the middle. Come back to Kanagisa. It's a low. That far away from Moore. He does find it. Gets a shot away. And it's almost trickled in. McMullen's clearance does enough. And I think that will be a bit of a trend throughout this game. Got to manage that threat of Laura Davis. Just so much pace and physicality. Also such a good finisher. And Kanagisa are able to, well, really scuff clearance, able to find more, but they'll be working nice and hard to get something on the break for Kingborough. And the ball will come in. It's a long ball to the back stick. It does come on it from Fuchs. And just out of play a little bit inconspicuously. Devoport trying to play out here. Here's Annalie Bidwell, always one to want to get on the ball. The ball in. Tackle is made by Lashmar. Walsh is playing some interesting balls through the middle. That one was a little bit over-adventurous though. And now Devoport on the break. It's Grace Sims, who's got a couple of goals this season for Devoport, young player. Here's Whitney Knight. Find Hardy. They want to shoot that ball. McMullen with a nice little touch in towards foot. A good challenge from Wiley though. And McMullen again on the run. And out of play. And a nice even start to this game. Two teams really trying to run into space as much as they can. Ball from McIntosh is a great one. Kanagisa's touch is looking for Davis. Just a little bit marked out of it though. Walsh can't get through. Moore's header doesn't do the business. It's blocked off. This is a half chance of Capel. Tries to play it through to Whitney Knight. Flag went up over here and it's gone straight back down. So it wouldn't have counted if Knight did touch that one into the back of the net. So Mullen. Bidwell plays straight through the foot. It's really nice triangles from strikers, but now we go with Davis. Looks for Kanagisa, who's made a strong run. And those two, I think they're really just putting that, trying to be solid behind Kanagisa and Davis and look for those two to work their magic. Ball will come on the ground. Amelia Howe in the mix. He gets it again. It's a good ball through to Kanagisa. It's managed well over on the far side. Back into Kanagisa. Another big challenge coming across. And Davis again with a 50-50 challenge. Bit of a shove in the back, but nothing given. And Holly Emmett on the run. She'll get it over to the far side for Sims. And Knight, again, just so much time on the ball. Walsh. And with Kingborough again, they're just starting to get their foot on the ball here, the Lions. And the ball through, have the radar sorted out there. So I think this is a game that Kingborough will be circling on their fixture list as one that they should be going close to getting something out of. They are a team that has been improved this season. Here comes Capel. Foot on it. Back to foot. Gets to McMullen, and that's a nice little ball inside. Knight again. Really just the shifting of the weight of Whitney Knight that's so impressive. Just able to manoeuvre away around the field, not lose possession. Foot's touch is not the best. And Davis will try and hold it up now. Lashmar looks through to Davis. Davis putting the afterburners on. She's in behind. Cover from Emmett, and shot from Davis is a little bit soft. Does find the target though, and that's the sort of action they'll be looking for out of Laura Davis today. Can use both feet really well. And really just a workhorse up there in striker position for Kingborough, has been for many years. There's Ava Wiley with a little clearance out. Coach is doing a lot of coaching on the sideline in this break and just trying to key into what both are saying. Tom Ballantyne just trying to get their midfield a little bit more structured with 2 6s and leaving Whitney Knight to float. And here is Abby White, who will be one of those defensive midfielders, and Hardy with a nice little ball through. Knight has to take them on, just retains possession well, but the foot comes in from Kanagisa, who's dropped right in, very narrow. And sort of putting all hands on defensive deck here for Kingborough. It's Annalie Bidwell, again with that driving tempo that she can provide from centre back. Foot in from McMullen. Touch out of trouble, but Lashmar working hard back, and again the wingers have all dropped back here, and it's really just Laura Davis up for Kingborough, so very solid defensive shape for Kingborough. Into Lucy Foot. Mullen tries to get across and gets blocked off by Wiley, and a big clearance out by Lashmar. Emmett collects well. Maybe White, a composed ball, and she'll get it back. Bidwell will try and switch it across. Annabelle Wiley, that ball right out wide for Sims. He'll come back into Abby White. Ball through, it's decent. Touch is okay from Capel. Foot gets away from her a little bit today. And Kingborough just releasing that pressure. Devoport starting to ratchet it up. And turn from White, just gets away from a little bit. It is a little bit slick out here today. Softish ground from the rain overnight and slightly damp. So the ball just fizzing through a little bit on some of the girls today. There's Foot. Good little touch inside. Does Wiley, all ends up. Just get blocked off though. Back from Sims. It's not the best pass. Davis is not in the vicinity of it though. And that just gets lumped up in the air from Annabelle Wiley. 2 Wileys on different teams, but slightly differently last name. And I guess for Devoport, the big change is no Georgia King has been injured in that last WSL game against South Hobart, and it's just a wealth of experience and really great midfield or centre back. So Davis will be looking to attack that area. That's an excellent challenge from Bidwell. Really strong standing challenge. Foot tries to up the tempo, and it's a direct ball in an interesting area, but Sims is nowhere near that one. And ball comes back in. Touched away by Moore. He does a lot of work around the ground. Really happy to put a challenge on Christabel Moore, but it's retained by Whitney Knight. And again, just that ball retention that Devoport are able to impose with having Whitney Knight in there. Just a lot of, give you a lot of confidence as a player. You can just knock it to her in any situation, really, if she's under pressure or not. Hardy's ball through is skidding into the Kingborough player. She'll get it again and play a little bit more simply now. Knight again. It's a nice little ball outside. Sims, it's a bit of time to survey the situation. And turned over. Walsh and Hardy go at it. Hardy getting the better of that with a sliding challenge. Ball through Emmett. It's back into Foot. Tries to tee it up for Capel. Ball up to Hardy at the top, and it's an important clearance from Lashmar, but as the left winger, it's all on Davis to have to get this first ball and hold it up for the rest of her team. They're under a lot of pressure, Kingborough, at the moment. It's a good challenge from Moore, though. Now the ball comes out. Ball around the corner. Doesn't find its target. And ball back in to Hardy. And McMullen now. Good ball through. This little combination play between McMullen and Foot on this near side. Here she is again, McMullen. And the ball gets away from Hardy, and Hannah Walsh trying to work it away. Here's Davis. She'll need to hold it up. And she gets around 2, so she's just going to try and take them all on here, Laura Davis, and almost does. Goes early on the shot. Not really threatening. And you can just see a little bit of instruction from Cam Hazelwood here on the near-hand side. He's trying to make sure Davis does get a bit of support. I think she was wanting to go direct there, and that's an interesting ball through. Wiley gets there first, though, and she'll clear it away. Ball into Lucy Foot. It's a bit of a scuff clearance. It's not the best piece of keeping from McIntosh, who, again, it's a bit slick out here today. Just missed her first bite at it, but gets it on the second attempt. And they're trying to release Davis here. Walsh was there to support her this time. It's an interesting little ball through. Good poke through from Moore. Walsh now goes through for Davis. Davis did hold her run well there, was onside, but all blocked off by Abby White, who's dropped back there. White's playing quite deep at the moment. Playing Hardy and Knight to play a little bit more advanced. Took a ball into Davis again. Run comes forward from Moore. Kanagisa dropped back a little bit. She would go around the outside, try and use her pace. Not the worst cross, but no one making the near post run. And Davis had sort of floated back up to the top of the box, meaning the midfielders having to make a lung buster to the near post. Probably a little bit not on the cards. As Knight plays it back to McMullen. McMullen's been good driving forward out of this wing position. That will be a little foul on Walsh. Just clipping a little bit too much of Louisa McMullen.
They need to run beyond. But remember as well, if they're playing flat, you can still diag run instead of running straight line.
Just a little bit too much sauce on the challenge, and they'll get it back underway. Here's Carol Ashmar, nice little bit of footwork. Nothing up the line though. Bidwell's come over to cover well. Hardy struggling to get it a little bit under control at the moment. Again, it is quite greasy out there. Kanagisa trying to get on the break and does well to dispossess Emmett. Plays it in the middle. Davis is almost there. She does press in the end. It does rob Wiley of it, but straight to Emmett. And Bidwell again orchestrating things well, and that's a great ball into Lucy Foot. Nice little reverse pass. Knight again just able to control that tempo well. McMullen with some space to run into now. She'll try to keep it. No one really coming to her though. She'll give back to Knight. Again, that confidence she just gives. Turns onto the left foot. Ooh, almost. Not far away from the top corner on the left foot from Whitney Knight. And as I said before, if you're on the Devonport Strikers team, just at any opportunity you can hit Knight's feet. It is just one of those things that you've got to do. And that was probably the closest opportunity today. I wouldn't say it's the best, a bit of a long shot. But not Davis's opportunity earlier, maybe slightly closer, a bit tighter on the angle. So they've had some good opportunities, both teams. Devonport with most of the play though. They are holding possession well and forcing Kingborough all the way back in. And yeah, just with Female Football Week on this week, good time to get out and see some local women's action. It's a bit of a nightmare getting a park down here at Lightwood this morning. There's footy and junior soccer and gymnastics on. But a little crowd built up Maybe White with an interesting shot, and it's a half volley for McIntosh to take. So with the A-League Grand Final on today, should be a good one. I'm excited to catch a bit of that later on. City and Sydney FC. Interesting little battle there. No foul given. There was too much in that from either team. Hardy and Foot combining well. There's Lucy Foot. All through to McMullen. Very patient play from her. Overlapping run does come. Mullen just trying to get out of the way of rampaging Ava Wiley to make the clearance. And there's a lot of play down this right-hand side for the strikers at the moment. Lashmar is doing a lot of defending, as is Wiley. Foot will get it again, but it's away by Wiley. Throw from McMullen doesn't come out that well. I'm just not sure if that was a foul throw or not there. Just, again, it is a little bit greasy out here this morning at Kingborough. Long throw for Wiley and Hardy. Again, Devoport controlling things well. Bidwell coming up into midfield, trying to put extra pressure. Here's Knight with an interesting shot. Spilled a little bit by Erica McIntosh in the Kingborough goal, but again, dealt with reasonably well in the end. That's absolutely thumped by McIntosh in the air. It's a hard ball for Emma to deal with and has to head it back towards her own goal. To release a little bit of pressure for Kingborough. They've been under immense pressure for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and I think they're just going to have to expect that today. It's been a pretty clinical performance from Devoport so far, at least through their midfield. Haven't really fashioned too many good opportunities. I think Whitney Knight's long shots are going to be an ever-present threat of this game, but in terms of kind of closer range efforts, they've been pretty solid so far, the Lions. And they do have a corner here at Kingborough if they can't get a little sneaky goal here. Give them a lot of confidence. A low ball, no one in the vicinity though. Now Devoport will try and counter. Here's Sims, who's lurking out there on the left wing. Ball a little bit isolated though. She tries to get it into Capel and she cops a Falcon in the face, unfortunately. And we'll just get stopped for a little break in play. With Capel just recovering at the moment, so she's still holding her face a little bit. I'm just going to get a little bit of a break in play. Again, the centre backs, Kingborough have been held pretty strong so far. It's well won in there by Payne. McMullen again. Fits to Wiley and then into Knight. Sims urged to travel by the coaching staff and she'll get around the outside. Poke it in with her right foot. Lucy Foot was in the box, not far away from her. McIntosh now having to doing a lot of mopping up for Kingborough at the moment. It's nothing too strenuous for her, but she's getting a lot of touches on the ball. Sims starting to show a little bit of that pace. She'll knock it back into the midfield, and White gets dispossessed. Walsh with good strength. Kanagisa, good ball through to Davis. Davis in just such a low centre of gravity, getting around the outside, and it's a physical challenge in there, met by Annalie Bidwell. Really looking forward to that matchup today. Two very talented players, two very hungry players, both very hard at it, but have a lot of class to go with that kind of desire. Short corner comes in. It's a little bit skewed, but Kanagisa gets a head on it. She's a little bit disappointed with that effort. It wasn't a bad one at all. Hard angle. Didn't have a lot of pace on the cross. Couldn't find the target. And Bidwell, again, will get things going for Devonport. Her ball just eludes Louise McMullen on this near side. Now Wiley try and put some more pressure on for Kingborough. They haven't had a heap of that so far in this half, but there's been a few little half opportunities for them so far. Ball from Howe gets blocked off. Comes back in for Hannah Walsh. Nice little ball. Really good combination play. Walsh pokes it through. Kanagisa didn't make their third run. It was a nice 1-2. Hannah Walsh a little bit clipped on the way through. Just a toe in on the ball. I think Erica McIntosh wanting a Kingborough player to have a go from there. Probably didn't have the best window to do so. And it's cleared away for a Devonport throw. They do have a few players who can pose a bit of threat, Kingborough. Hannah Walsh is one of those players. Will be retained for now by Devonport. Ball goes through. Sims can't collect it. That pass is a little bit dangerous. Good pressure from Capel. That ball come through and retained by Holly Emmett. Challenge from Kanagisa. Goes back to a Devonport player though. And Sam Hardy just happy to keep the ball. Bidwell for the overlap run. Mullen's out here on her own. Can't get through to her. Knight will look for a little poke over the top towards Lucy Foot. That was a delicious little ball. Well dealt with by Eloise Payne. Payne and Fuchs have been pretty good so far today and trying to release Davis again. Does have Lushmar at the far post. Walsh is coming at the near one. It's a low ball and go out for a goal kick, says the linesman. Don't know about that one from. I know I'm on the complete opposite direction of the field, but looked like it did take a little bit of direction. You can see Laura Davis's reaction didn't take too kindly to it, but those ones where Devonport will retain this one. I think for a Kingborough perspective, it is just about maintaining some of that consistency and momentum that they built so well throughout that first part of the season. And I know Knights are a really improving team with some really talented players who've got a lot of experience and kind of talent ID level players. That would have been a big letdown for them, just considering the scoreline. I know there was a bit of talk, I guess, in the media about, not quite having a full strength team in that lineup. I know no team really wants to own that. It is, you've got to have depth to do well. There is a foul on Christabel Moore. It was a little bit of ball, but a lot of leg in that challenge from Bidwell. And I think they're feeling a little bit more confident with the lineup they're putting out today, the Lions. And I think if they can just maintain that consistency throughout their squad, they will be really up there this season. Maybe not the title winners, but potential cup contenders. And top 3 would be a good performance for them. Here's Walsh. Moore with a good touch away. She gets bodied by Foot on the way out. Early ball from Lashmar. Didn't have enough legs on it to get to Kanagisa. Moore having to block off and does screen well to maintain just the shape for Kingborough. Foot getting out of trouble and Bidwell trying to release McMullen. All goes through down to Fuchs and she'll poke it away. And Fuchs coming across from Zebras, the now championship women's side Clarence Zebras. Really good pickup for Lions in the off-season. Very impressive last year. A pretty solid team overall, that Zebras side. And they'll just sort of dispersed out through different teams, the ones who stuck around in the state. Abby White with the ball through. It's cut out very well. And Tegan Hennessy. And they're just trying to bring it back over to this near side. It's been the more successful side for Devonport so far. Mullen working very hard to get touchline wide and she'll get it in space. Got Wiley for company. Foot's made a good run. She'll poke it through to McMullen again with a bit of space. She'll just try and play it in the middle. Knight made a run and just gets cut out well again by Eloise Payne. Pretty solid so far. It's a good ball over the top for Davis again. Davis in a one-on-one. She get in behind. It's a decent shot from Davis and just trickles across the front of the net. Just Emmett with her hands full out there in that right-hand channel. She's doing a lot of covering across today. I think Davis, knowing that she has Wiley for pace at least, and she's kind of lining up on this other side of Annalee Bidwell, and I think that's probably a good decision from Laura Davis to kind of target that right-hand channel more than the left one. Here's Davis here. Gets it on her boot and a very desperate challenge. Almost another, well, couple of little opportunities here for Kingborough. Gone begging, but Devoport kind of inflicting these a little bit on their own, trying to play out and getting caught on it. And I think if they do this too many more times, Kingborough will go 1-0 up. And Walsh will take it again. Moore's at the top of the box with a good foot in. It goes high and doesn't challenge Michaela Mitchell in the Devoport goal. And we're just about half an hour gone here at Lightwood Park. And 0-0 so far, if you're just joining us. Sun's come out. It's actually quite a nice afternoon for football down south here. The other aspect of the game that is an intriguing one with this kind of matchup across the leagues is just how much distance there is between the two clubs. And it's not that much more than a lot of other Hobart clubs. As Walsh's ball is looking for Lashmar at the back stick. It's well taken by Mitchell. And just a pretty early start for Strikers women today. And just getting yourself going after, early start, long bus trip. Just that extra 20 minutes down the road from, KG5 or 5 or 10 minutes from South Hobart. Just, a little bit of extra travel time for girls to deal with. And they are quite used to that aspect of it, but it does amount to a fairly long day for these teams. Ball around the corner for Hardy and then Abby White. Good ball. Mullen shapes to cross. Dangerous little ball kind of on the half volley. Capel and Foot were in the vicinity. McIntosh, lovely footy kick out to Lashmar, and she takes that one very well under the pressure of Hardy. Kanagisa just trying to gamble on that one. Emmett doing well to cut it out though. Here's Knight. All through is a good one. And Fuchs clearing that one away. Lions centre backs dealing with a lot of stuff very well so far. Again, they have a lot of protection. It's very deep from the rest of the midfield. They've got sort of 2 banks of 4 set up, sometimes even 5. And the ball will come back out to Whitney Knight. There's so much time on the ball, surveying options. And they'll try and get another passing chain going here at Devonport. Patterns are pretty impressive. Here's Whitney Knight again. Just shown off it a little bit in the midfield there. We'll come back to Knight. Ball coming across. Nice 1-2. Can she shape to shoot? She'll try and play McMullen in. McMullen takes a touch. It's a little bit heavy. Well shown off by Cara Lashmar, tracking back from her wing position. But Louise McMullen's overlapping runs, very dangerous. And then we'll get lumped up in the Laura Davis direction. Jumps for it with Bidwell. Mullen again. Nice ball through to Capel. Capel and Foot combine well. And Devonport playing some really nice stuff. Just the last ball and the last touch not coming off for them at the moment. Some of these little triangles, 1-2s they're playing through the midfield. Just progressing that ball superbly. I'll go back in to Hardy now. Thrown from McMullen and it's missed by all the strikers players. Carnegie's trying to release Davis again. And well cut off by Wiley. Touching by foot. And away by Amelia Howe. Sims now. To Abby White with a thumping ball across. It might find McMullen. Shielded off pretty well in the end by Hannah Walsh, who has been absolutely everywhere for Kingborough so far today. Forward, back, finding herself at this inside full-back position. I reckon McIntosh plays it into Payne. Payne wasn't really expecting the ball to come that early. Good header from Kanagisa, but doesn't have any runners running off her. And will get collected by Devoport to switch. I think for Devoport, it will kind of, after this, I guess, the result against South Hobart last week, I think everyone would have pigeonholed them as a top 2 side this season. Whether they were, title contenders, given that South Hobart hadn't lost in a full year or more. Just kind of readjusting to that status of potential favourites here. I think it will edge ahead in that equation, especially with Lions already taking points off South Hobart, kind of making their job a little bit easier and the gap a little bit bigger at the top. And then you've got United and Lions kind of duking it out for that 3rd spot at the moment. I think both teams have a lot of potential and do a lot of good things. We just don't have that extra spark or continuity that Devonport and South Hobart have had over the last couple of years. It's an interesting ball through from Abby White. Capel can't get onto it. Hardy's header goes up in the air. Collected by Bidwell. Excellent feet from Annalee Bidwell. And McMullen, with a bit of time, just trying to survey the field, finds Hardy with a lofted ball, and it's a good touch from Hardy. Nice little pullback from Louise McMullen again. Good challenge from Lashmar. Doesn't get the ball though. Ball coming in to Capel. Turning the corner. And Fuchs showing her the line. And finds that line. It's gliding on top of the ground, that Fuchs there. Just covering a lot of territory, a few steps. It's got that rangy motion. Mullen's throw in. It's half volley for Capel. Ball back to Hardy. Ball into Abby White. And the ball comes away into Lashmar. And Lashmar try and find Kanagisa. Again, they can't quite get that releasing ball on target at the moment, Lions. Good touch inside from Knight. And a really good challenge from Amelia Howe. Hardy might shape to shoot here. She plays it wide for McMullen. Turn from foot. Looking for her left foot. Good sliding challenge from Moore. Really good sliding challenge. A good body from Davis, who'll now get on her bike. Foot's chasing her down though. And Bidwell goes in, got the ball, and then took the shin of Laura Davis. That looked like a painful one. And eats a slice of cheese for her efforts on that one. Davis in a fair bit of pain by the looks of that. Really right on the shin. And right when you're running full pelt. She's up and limping so far. Bidwell just cleared the air as quick as she could there. I think smartly, just trying to slow things down. And you've got Davis on the run. And looks like she's all right though, so we'll momentarily get this underway. Kingborough just sorting some things out at the back here. I think Howell and Payne just really trying to sort out exactly where space they are needing to cover. Fuchs will launch it wide in the Kanagisa direction. Kanagisa, more of a midfielder in the last few seasons for Kingborough. It sort of can drift in between the lines. And out and out winger today on that right hand side. She does well to win the ball, and referee spotted a foul, I think, the assistant referee flagging for that one. And another threatening opportunity here for Kingborough. They've had a few set pieces. Doesn't really give Fuchs a chance to set up for it. Here is Fuchs almost chesting into the goal, and then Lashmar. This shot is blocked. And again, that height that Anna Fuchs and Laura Davis possess. I know Devoport also have a fair bit of height of their own. Eddie White amongst them. That's not the best delivery from Walsh, and avoids Fuchs altogether, who was camping up at that back post. And just cooled off again a little bit here. Sun's going behind the clouds, so again, good football conditions out there. And supporters a little chilly out there on the stands for Lions. Mullen in some space here. Lashmar covering well. Here's Foot. Interesting ball for McMullen. Does hold up for it. Body is excellent from Lashmar. Nice physical bump off it. The ball back into McIntosh. Just making the keeper doing a little bit of extra fitness work. So we just take a breath a little bit as we sit towards half time. 6 or 7 minutes to go in the half. That's nicely won by Walsh, and the ball comes into Howe. She loses it though. All back into the middle. Foot getting on the ball. Chased back on her right foot. Now McMullen with another overlapping run. Ball is low and well collected by Hannah Walsh. Again, just edging towards half-time here. 0-0. Very entertaining game. Devoport with definite line share of possession and control over the game, but they haven't really fashioned too many shots on target or any shots in anger, really. Kingborough potentially have actually had the better opportunities. It's well worked. And Knight with a good shot, and what a save by McIntosh. Can be very tricky little dipping balls, and not the tallest keeper either, so has to be alert to those kind of chipped opportunities and bats it over the bar. That's probably the best opportunity so far for Devoport, and one that's been closest to scoring, as we were just mentioning earlier. And again, Whitney Knight can't afford to give her any space at the top of the box. He's more than happy to pull the trigger. She will take the set piece for the strikers though. Ball's low. It's getting across the top of the box. A block there from the Lions, and Wiley's ball is hit with a bit of dip and hard sort of half volley. McIntosh taking that one easily. Being up there with Kingborough's best, I'd say, in this first half. Again, hasn't had lots and lots of saves to make, but having to mop up a lot. There's White. Sort of 1-2 go away by Ava Wiley. Annabelle Wiley will make a challenge, but get it robbed off her by Walsh. She tries to release Davis early, and Davis kind of right at her heels. Impossible kind of to control those. Good turn away from Knight again. Slicing through the middle here. She's shaped to shoot. Well done by Payne. Had to make a challenge there, and not foul either. Just got the body on well. Foot with a little turn. Speed well. So Capel. McMullen again. Using that width. It's up in the air. Back down. The feet of Foot. Moore making the challenge. Half a shout of a pen from the Devoport sideline. Moore got the ball first, and both players just took a bit of a tumble. Kingborough midfield doing a lot of work at the moment. Walsh and Moore in particular, having to kind of break quickly as well as work back and help defend. Lashmar just happy to eat some seconds off the clock here. Into Hardy. Lashmar again. Very compact in defence, this Lions unit. From McMullen. Comes over the top. Undone by Wiley. Lashmar on the break now. Ball goes forward and over the head of Davis. Didn't have any space to work with at all out here on the near-hand side.
Organised, let's go!
Goodwill getting it up the line for McMullen to take a little throw in. Again, 0-0 here as we inch towards half-time. Ball coming in and Hardy, good chest control. Knight again bustling through the middle. Robbed of it by Moore. Kanisa trying to release Davis. And Bidwell controlling it well. All coming in to Abby White. He's had a little bit more influence in the game in the latter half of this first half. Looking for Sims, who has had moments in the game, but haven't had a lot of ball over that far side at all for the strikers. It's been a lot of kind of this near side action with McMullen and Foot combining. Have White again. He's just the solitary holder. Just gets it back. A lot of space. Good turn. Ball comes wide. Again, McMullen. Really feel like something might come from the right-hand side for the strikers. Excellent challenge from Anna Fuchs. Storming centre-back challenge. And can the Lions release now? Bidwell working hard. Just trying to check out where Davis is and has enough time to just get it back to Mitchell in the Devoport goal. Annabelle Wiley gets it into Abby White. Good challenge from Walsh, and Moore tries to find Davis. Doesn't collect though. There's Lashmar. Kingborough now trying to control things. Towel gets it out to Payne. Which comes across. Sims is very far behind to fullback, but able to work back and get the ball. Just didn't have enough sauce on that switch from Kingborough. Ball in the middle. Well done by Howell to get Knight off the ball. And Moore. Well, Kingborough's starting to play a little bit more. This is good stuff from the Lions. And they get through the block, and Lashmar. This ball is a little bit dangerous now. Foot on her bike. And some space. It's Lucy Foot in space, and that's I was going to say a really good finish. From this angle, that looked like it was going into the bottom left-hand corner. Hit it pretty well. That was where she needed to put it, and it just skews wide of the Kingborough net. I think the Lions getting away with that one a little bit. I think Devonport be ruining that missed opportunity. Again, so close to half-time. Going in with a 1-0 lead in a kind of tight tussle like this would mean a lot and give the girls a lot of confidence through that period, but not to be, and it will remain 0-0 here at halftime, Lightwood Park. Said, been a tight affair, which Devonport have had definitely line share of possession, but both teams with their opportunities. I think Lucy Foot probably with the best of them just in that last minute or two, but Kingbororough's defence working very, very hard to deny them of opportunities, and they've had a few little sniffs on the counter as well. So, very intriguing battle. I'm been enthralled the whole time, and hopefully the second half will portend some good things. Potentially some goals, but some more close, interesting play here in the... Welcome back to Lightwood Park. for this WSL matchup between Kingborough Lions and the Devoport Strikers. My name's Alex Mummery. Thanks for rejoining me here for the second half. Just waiting on Kingborough to come back out from the sheds. Devoport all ready and raring to go. No changes by the looks of it on the Devonport side of things. And Kingborough just using that little bit of extra time to make some final changes and little bits of instruction. Sun has come out again. It's been one of these days, I would say a typical Hobart autumn day. Sort of a little bit of wind around, not too much wind, a lot of cloud around, but also a bit of sun. So the wind is kind of swirling a little bit. It's not too strong. Look at the corner flags, and they're all almost blowing in a different direction, mostly towards that far side of the ground, as you'll see on your screen. 0-0 at the moment, and it should be a barnstorming second half. Really entertaining first half, even though there weren't any goals. Good opportunities for both teams, and really a lot on the line, I would say, today, especially for Devonport. They can afford a draw, and they'll still have a bit of a gap over South Hobart, but it will kind of let a lot of the contenders back in, and for Kingborough, it will just sort of cement them as a team that can challenge the top two and really cause problems. And so Devonport will want to see if they can't go 1-0 up here. But equally, Lions have been pretty threatening on the break, and they're a few little tweaks. They might actually get something out of this game, more than a point, potentially. That ball goes up the line. Lashmar's swapped wings and is on the right-hand side now. Here's Davis almost on the ball. Good foot in by Abby White. The ball through Sims. Not the best for Knight. And maybe just a little tweak of shape for Devonport here. Whitney Knight setting up more as a striker in this second half. She was kind of floating as a 10 kind of midfield position. Here's Payne. It's kind of thigh into a bit of a dangerous area. Danielle Capel switch kind of into a bit more of that midfield spot for the Strikers. Here's Knight now. Good bit of footwork. Finds the byline. And cross left a little bit to be desired. Just skewing off her boot with her momentum. And I think that it's an interesting little change from the Devonport coaching staff, where they've just made that a tweak, potentially playing Knight a little bit further up the field and trying to use her quality to play through the Kingborough defence rather than just as kind of more ball retention, which is what she was doing a lot of in that first half. And Bidwell will play the ball in tonight now. It's dropped back in, and Capel and Foot sort of playing in that central spot now, so trying to be a bit more flexible. Knight will go through about three people. She'll shape to cross it back to the top of the box. Foot gets onto it and puts it away. Excellent little move from Devonport, and they will head 1-0 up on the score sheet. Lucy Foot with a pretty simple finish in the end. And Kingborough have worked hard all game, and to do that straight after half-time, that's a good show of strength from the Strikers. I think it will make the equation a little bit more difficult for Lions now, not having that comfort of being equal. And now they'll have to really push to try and knock this one back up. And you can just see that tweak, a little positional tweak from Devonport coaching staff paying off in dividends with Whitney Knight dribbling through two players and setting one up back to the top of the box for Lucy Foot. So now Kingborough haven't really had a touch of it in this second half. I know these are early days. We'll need to figure out how to break down this Devonport defence and probably see a little bit more of the ball at their feet. Here's Whitney Knight again. Now up to Sims. She's got a bit of space. Lashmar working back hard again. She's doing a lot of defensive work throughout this game. His ball up into White, who nodding the ball in the goalward direction. I think that was a real shot, but McIntosh there to collect again. And Payne, his ball into Lashmar. Lashmar misses that one. Clement trying to turn the corner. Does get around Lashmar. Gets a bit of space now. Here's Hardy. It's a good ball into Knight. Just clean feet from Whitney Knight again. Now she's got time. Turns back on the right foot. Hits it decently. McIntosh kind of took an interesting little position there for Kingborough. Able to scramble across and field that one comfortably. Kanagisa just shoved off it a little bit. Hardy using the body well. Walsh trying to pressure. Walsh again working hard in that midfield for Kingborough. Here's Emmett again. Right-footed left back wanting to cut in. Into Capel. A bit of time. Ball into White, who steals it off the foot of Walsh. Knight again with a really nice ball in the Sims direction, and Fuchs covers well. I just think for that goal for Kingborough, shape has been so good all game. And just got a little bit taken out of it by that run from Knight, and couldn't kind of get Fuchs or Payne in that area at the top of the box where they needed them. And that's where if you take centre-backs out of their spot, it just makes life so much easier for attacking players. Lucy Foot kind of making up for that earlier chance in the first half that probably expected to convert more times than not. It's a nice ball from Hennessy. Tries to get it back off Davis, but cleared away powerfully by Annabelle Wiley. McIntosh sending it long. Very good keeper with her feet. Bidwell, bit of a heavy touch, gets away with it. Now she'll drive through the middle into Capel. Payne coming up to meet it. Capel again. Sims driving it wide. It's around Hennessy, cuts inside, shoots well. Oh, that's very close from Grace Sims. Outstretched arms of McIntosh. Not able to get there, but doesn't find the back of the net. We've had a couple of those that have looked threatening. And Sims cutting inside. Very dangerous. And I just think it's been reasonably comfortable at the back for Kingborough in that first half. And it's a completely different equation in this second. It's been a really hot start from Devoport. There's White into Knight and Foot. Back into Abby White. Ball's a good one. Capel just retaining possession. Whitney Knight shaving his shoot. That's a little bit speculative from the Devonport, striker for the Strikers at the moment. And you can sort of just see how Devonport is setting up now. It's almost a 4-4-2, really. Got Capel and Knight quite high. Foot's kind of dropped back into this midfield position, really. And so they're trying to be a bit more flexible. Someone's lost their boot. I think Lashmar just left that one behind. And she's just a little bit of niggle there. Just get that one through. I think Hardy was a bit surprised that was a foul. It just clipped Lashmar enough to take the shoe off. Payne will send that in. It's a good ball. Davis in the area, used their body well, and ball just kind of caroms off the Devonport player, and Michaela Mitchell collect it well and send a lovely ball up. But Payne mopping up well. And Payne and Fuchs have had a reasonable game centre-back for the Lions. It's kind of a new look centre-back. They had two really good centre-backs last season as well, with Shreve coming over to Knights kind of as a new club, and Monica Orlovsky lost to the, somewhere else, not playing this season. Bit of a different dynamic for them back there, but they've both been really good so far for Kingborough. Knights in space, and just can't let her have that amount of time. Here is Knight, really nice feet, gets around a couple of Lions players. And Walsh just says, let's get that out here and regroup. Touch in from Emmett. Finds Davis, really good shoulder to shoulder. Davis had to find Lashmar there, but she's gone through with it again. Just such a good use of the body. Gets back up, almost half a shot. Again, it's just that support for Laura Davis that Kingborough need to give for him. It is hard because they are doing so much defensive work. And I think it's one of those things where you just got to get a little bit more vocal. It's a good run from Sims. Found a way in behind. Flag stay down. It's Grace Sims. And nice save from McIntosh coming off her line well. Again, a nice aggressive keeper, McIntosh. I think she's read the game quite well today. And just organising a little sub here. I think Tegan Hennessy's just struggling a little bit here at fullback. And that's where they have had a lot of joy with Sims down this near-hand side. The ball comes over. A little bit of a almost half mix-up. Back in the mixer. It might be Abby White, who's trundled up forward from her defensive midfield position. And Kingborough will make some subs now. Will be Hennessy coming off. She's definitely struggling at the end, maybe just with a little bit of muscle soreness. And also Amelia Howell making her way off in the midfield. Kind of had a bit of a marking role today. And Georgia Edwards will come on for Kingborough, along with Casey Buford on the subs. So Buford's come up playing as another striker, so it might mean a little bit of a change in shape for Kingborough too. And I think, oh, that's a kind of skinny corner. As good as Knight's been today, she struggled a little bit with a set piece taking, especially down this left of screen end. Lashmar, Davis, and that avoids Edwards, who's the sub. And Emmett will play it in to Capel. Abby White recycling it well. Hardy. Did well again. Out wide for McMullen. It's a good ball for foot. They've combined really well throughout the game. It's a good cross. McIntosh jumps for it, takes it well. Maybe a sniff of a body contact there. But she's done excellently to follow that up. And Moore also working hard to impact that play. And it's maybe not the best restart from McIntosh, just feeling the pressure. Again, she's been crucial for Kingborough today. She's had a lot to do, and again, showing what a really good, aggressive keeper sort of impact they can have on the game, help their defence out. Abby White, pretty impressive in this midfield as well. She'll play it out wide to Sims, trying to get back on that right foot. And Edwards and Lashmar work it out. And Emmett will throw it in. And we'll get into Capel. Away by Moore. Shout for a handball not given. Lashmar getting up the line. Emmett using the body well. And puts her under pressure and gets it out for a Devoport throw. And there's a little bit of movement on the Devoport bench here. Got Madeline Payne, Phoebe Mitchell amongst others, who've played big roles for Devoport in the past. Here's Hannah Walsh. She'll shape to shoot. It's a bit of a speculative effort. And Mitchell collects it easily. I think it's one of those things where any sort of side at goal for Lions, they're just trying to take it at the moment. Fuchs jumps for it, goes over her head. Wiley tries to collect. Back to Foot. And McMullen has run. Doesn't get to her, though. That's not the best back pass and puts under a lot of pressure. Knight with a cross, and Edwards with a really crucial interception there. That was a certain goal at the back post for Sims if she didn't make a tackle there. And Kingborough will get out of trouble for the time being. And this is where they went wrong last time. Fuchs makes a better ball this time. And now McIntosh is looking for Lashmar. Goes shorter. Edwards can't get through there. And Emmett will throw it back in for the strikers. And ball through from Capel and away from Edwards. Again, strikers with all the pressure and all the territory, and they haven't really had the same sort of impact, I would say, in this second half in terms of Kingborough's counter-attacking threat. They haven't... Well, Davis hasn't been able to get on the ball at all, and it's really been this sort of opportunity. They can kind of have a bit of a sniff. Devoport have been good to snuff it out, but Walsh will play it long. Kanagisa's in the area. She'll bring it down. Kanagisa pokes it home and makes it 1-0 for the Lions. It's just about to say they haven't had much in the second half to, well, be happy about, but they'll be overjoyed with that one. And Danielle Kanagisa hasn't had a lot of the ball. You give her half a sniff and she'll put it away. And that is a big moment in this game. It's been really entertaining throughout. And now Devonport, oh, will they respond? And that's big confidence boost for Kingborough getting a goal in the game generally, but making it 1-1 will lead to a really good finish. I hope Ching in, hopefully a bit of a prelude to some of the other games happening around this week. Is Capel. He's got space, shoots decently, and McIntosh, again, just safe hands. Buford sub, just heading that one over the head of Hardy into Edwards. Here's Sims. Ball back in tonight. She weaves through a couple of players. Back out to Abby White. Really good challenge from Moore. That might be a foul from Emmett. Don't think she got a lot of the ball there at all. Kanagisa is a bit sore after that one. Just got a bit collected there. Here's Walsh. And they'll just keep playing through it. And a little bit unlucky there, Kingborough, not to get a free kick. But they will get the throw anyway, so it doesn't really make too much of an impact. Here's Payne. She'll get it to Fuchs. It's not the... Works out okay, though, for the Lions in the end. Here's Walsh. Will she lump it long again? And she'll go down the line for Kanagisa this time. Really nicely done by Emmett. And Foot and White combining. Again, Foot playing a little bit deeper, and Knight's kind of drifting into her space quite a lot in this second half. And there will be a foul. Fuchs just getting tugged off it. And Lions now, with their tails up a little bit here, feel like they've got a big opportunity to take all 3 points from this game, which didn't feel too likely 10 minutes ago, but they've really come with some good energy after that goal and putting Devonport under a lot of pressure. Here's Capel, Knight, back to Foot, McMullen. Doesn't have much out there for her. She's trying to survey the field and she'll poke it back into Whitney Knight. Be Hardy and Foot now. McMullen into Walsh, who's in one of Kingborough's best as well. Done a lot around the ground, and a lot of running. McMullen with a cross. Doesn't come off. And Kingborough will just bring it out patiently. Foot will make a good interception, and here's Walsh again. She will play another long ball. That's a pretty good one in the Buford direction. Now Buford trying to chase down Annabelle Wiley. Plays it back to a keeper, almost blocked off. Kanagisa heads it back in the Buford direction. And just made a little bit of a shape change since that side, with Lashmar going over that left-hand side. Kanagisa coming to the right. And Davis playing as an out-and-out 10 now with Buford coming on. So it's a different shape for Kingborough too. So both teams mixing up their positions and really their shape as well. So possessional flexibility. Here's Walsh with an effort. Deflection. Davis. Get through to her. Cross comes in. Not a bad cross. Falls for Walsh. Hits it well, but skews over the top of the bar. Just a little bit below that one. Kingborough are coming hard. And Tom Ballantyne will make a sub. I think he does need to change the momentum here. Has been Devoport very much in their control most of the game, and they just slipped a little bit in this last, well, since the goal. And we will get Maddie Payne coming on for Sam Hardy, and Louise McMullen as well coming off on that right-hand side. She had a good game out there, and they're just changing things up for Mia Smith coming on. Maybe a slightly more attacking option for the strikers. They're trying to get all 3 points here today. And Maddie Payne kind of can play across the midfield and more attacking than Hardy has been at times. You can see the Lions absolutely swarming all over Devonport at the moment. They've really found a second wind. I think they've got the bit between their teeth. The bit between their teeth here. Throw into Foot. And it just goes out of play, and that will be Mia Smith. Again, shielded out by Fuchs. Knight gets around more. Knight with some space. Here's Payne. Cuts back on the right foot. Goes for the shot. It's a decent shot. Ooh, that was a close effort. McIntosh sprawled all over the place there. And just not able to find that side netting. And that's what the Import coaching staff will be looking for. Just a little bit of energy in that sort of advanced midfield area. And the ball out into Payne. And Davis now. Just into Kanagisa. Just can't combine on that occasion. It's not the best ball out from Wiley. She'll play it back in the middle. Lashmar trying to play Buford through. Good cut out by Bidwell. She'll run through. Ball isn't a good one though, and Fuchs sorting her feet out. Can't do it. Capel trying to find an option. There's no width at all, and just with that substitution, McMullen's been out there all game, just with her heels on the touchline. It's been a really good outlet for Devonport, and Smith tucked in all the way at that occasion. Didn't have any option, but Foot will make good work of it anyway for Devonport, and Payne trying to run through the middle. It's a little bit of after work on Payne. Payne really solid for Lions today. Could have been super impressed with their centre backs. We'll go through. There's Payne again, the header. And he'll go back out for a Mia Smith throw. And nice long throw coming in from Mia Smith. We'll get in the Foot direction. Cross gets knotted up in the air by Moore. He'll be an unsung player today for Kingborough. Has done a lot of work, especially defensively. Knight with some good footwork and hits the crossbar. Went around Davis, hit it on her left foot, and oh, wowie, that was almost a cracker of a goal. Here she is again, Knight. Oh, slides past the far post this time. And Whitney Knight, a few sliders at goal. Geez, just hasn't quite been her day in terms of the ball going in the back of the net. But it's been very, very lively for the Strikers. And again, 1-1 here. Strikers with some good opportunities. Haven't necessarily been able to put them away. That one, you know, crossbar, not much in that. But still a long-range effort. And Lions will look to counter here. Lashmar trying to put Smith under a bit of pressure. Buford not wanting to press the keeper. And they'll just play through. Bidwell does well to get it out. Ball comes back into White. Has to make a one-touch pass into Knight. It's a little ball around the corner, and Payne and Foot kind of splits the difference on those two. Edwards under a bit of pressure. Two young players going at it. Smith wins it on that occasion. Edwards wanting a foul, and Davis just says, "Get that out of here." Big two-footed challenge straight through and out of play. And Devoport will make one further change. That might be Phoebe Mitchell. Coming on, maybe Mitchell to take the throw straight away, with Holly Emmett coming off. Annabelle Wiley with a shot into the mixer, Moore with a header away. And Foot winning that one off Lashmar. Ball into White with a bit of space. Just pokes it up the line for Foot. Will she run out of room? Keep it in. Good long ball across. Had some good shape on it at least, but really no direction. And I think, judging by the game, well, the way the game's played out, Lions getting a point here would be a big result for them, you'd feel. Capel will play it into Knight. She'll go back around Davis. Davis not wanting to get turned this time. Foot with a poke up in the air. Capel brings it down. She'll play it wide. Here's Maddie Payne. Ball over the top of McIntosh, and she fields it again well. Again, just being not the tallest keeper, those little looping balls can be a little bit difficult for her at times, but she's done excellently today. And really solid for the Lions. Whilst trying to get through a bit of traffic, and didn't get a yell that she had a player on the back. White in acres of space in that holding midfield, and just has to play it out wide because of this defensive block from Kingborough. They're getting a bit stretched now, though. Devoport have come hard again in this last 5 or 6 minutes. Just with that good period of play for Kingborough. They're struggling just a touch to keep up with it for now. And we'll go out for another attacking opportunity here for Devoport. Again, Knight's set piece taking a little bit off today. That might be a little bit ominous. She will do it again. It's floated up. White's in the area using her height. 50-50 ball. I don't know who that one came off. Bit of a decision for ref to make. And they do sort it out in the end and give it a goal kick to Kingborough. There's a bit of a ricochet off White. Go long McIntosh. Cut out again by Foot, who's been lurking in those areas. Capel with a long ball, and the Strikers under 21s just about to get their warm-up underway. Getting a little bit scary for Erica McIntosh. Davis with a bit of space. Will she run at Phoebe Mitchell, the sub? Should have fresh legs to deal with this well. Davis, just such good getting around those little corners and keeping her balance. Goes on the left foot. Worst strike from Laura Davis. A little bit of a tight angle, you would think. Probably could have stood that one back up into the Buford direction. But side netting from that angle, not a bad effort at all. Again, she has to do a lot on her own. And Devoport again trying to get the attack going. And it's a little bit messy over there. Ava Wiley bring that ball back in. Lashmar able to get into more. I'm not trying to poke it through for Kanagisa, but it's a good foot away by Smith. Mia Smith this occasion. Buford now. Back into Kanagisa trying to find Davis. A little bit under hit on the left foot. And Payne's onside, and that ball's held up. And it's gone back to Knight, and she's skewed it away. There was a big collision after the ball. I think McIntosh got the ball and then body straight through her. I think that was a little bit stiff not to get a free kick, in my opinion. But then again, I'm not out there. And Knight couldn't make them pay anyway, so it doesn't matter in the end. That's a golden opportunity for Devoport. They've had a couple of those you think that on other days they might do a little bit better from. His Lions in the second half haven't really had much. They've had the one opportunity in earnest, and they've taken that one when they've needed to. Moore and Kanagisa sorted out well. Here's Moore. Sims tracking back well. Moore will get back onto the ball here, but Davis, because I'll have that one. And she's surrounded by two strikers players. Able to burrow her way through. Plays the ball into Casey Buford. Touch isn't the best one, and Mitchell and Annabelle Wiley will sort it out. Wiley sends it long. Kanagisa's there, sun's in her eyes, does well to get that to Lashmar. Lashmar trying to bring it down. Kanagisa with a poke through. Up in the air from Bidwell. Skewed off from Wiley. Done by Buford. She'll turn the corner. And cops a little bit on the way out for troubles. I think Capel wanted a free kick. I don't think there was much in that. And Kingborough well within their rights just to keep playing on there. And it's been an up and down second half. Both teams have had some good bits of play. And Kingborough now working their way back into it. Ball coming in to Bidwell. Ball through. Good for foot. And Capel playing it through. Payne's there. McIntosh again, way out of her area. She's been keep the sweeping all day. Really solid effort from her. And that's a quick throw in from Devoport. I don't think Lions are really ready for this. The midfield aren't back in position. Big sliding challenge from Ava Wiley. She's kind of sat on the ball there and does enough to get it out of play. That's all she needed to do. And Whitney Knight will come across and take this one. See the wind picking up that direction of the field where we're just stepped out of this kind of lower bowl area. So that wind starting to blow at the far end of the ground. This will be kind of one that will stand up a little bit and will be out swinging. Fuchs away. Does well. Lashmar with a bit of space to run. Bidwell tracking back hard. She'll just launch it up into the Davis direction, who's gone back into the striker position after spending a bit of time in midfield. Buford's making her way down this side, and she'll almost get here. Payne running up from centre-back. Said, I'll do it myself, and good aggressive run from Eloise Payne too. That was a nice bit of counter-attack from the Lions. It hasn't always been smooth for them on that front today, but when they have got it together, it's looked very, very threatening. It's a good ball through to Walsh. She'll turn back on the right foot. It's Walsh with a good shot, and what a save by Mitchell. Hannah Walsh just cutting her way through the Lions midfield and hit that one well. She's had a couple of siders today, and it's been her best effort so far. And potentially unlucky not to go 2-1 up here, Kingborough. Again, they haven't had the bulk of the chances, but they've had some good ones all the same. And Walsh will take this one. Goes over to the back stick. Mitchell comes and flaps for it. And big collision at the back stick. And they'll just pull it up for a free kick. I think Fuchs was barnstorming back there. I think Capel may be the other player involved in that little altercation. And it'll be a bit of a grandstand finish here. Well done by Fuchs. And forward through Lashmar. Lashmar holding it up. She'll go through. We'll win a throw in. And Lions still pushing here, which is good to see. They're not just sitting on this point. I know they're at home, but against the top team in the league, I think they'll be pretty happy with a point out of this game. But if they can get all three, that will be just a massive result for them. Still a lot of time to go in this game. Good feet from Wiley. Buford's in the area. Comes back out to the top. Lashmar plays to the Buford. Big swing of the back heel. He had a little bit more time than she thought to get there. But Buford's provided a bit of energy since she's come on. Hasn't had a heap of touches, but she's put herself in some really interesting positions and been a dangerous player for Lions. She doesn't go for that one. Lets Capel have a free header, but doesn't make good contact. Wiley and Foot will battle this one out. Foot will win it so far. We'll go back in the middle for Whitney Knight. Just sense that Knight might have one more sort of shot to fire in this game. Here's White. She will get it in tonight. Walsh again with a barnstorming challenge. Here's Kanagisa. Lions on the attack now. Davis just leaves it behind, gets back up. And she'll push her way through again. Just a typical running around corners, Laura Davis. It's such a good change of direction. Kanagisa linking up well in the middle there. And Walsh making a nice challenge. Midfield's really coming to the fore now for Kingborough. Edwards, her throw goes to the feet of Kanagisa. Gets herself in a bit of trouble. Does win a corner. You just sense that something will happen in this game. I think that potentially it won't be a draw. I think Lions are just making sure they've got their back door sorted here. Walsh will take. It's a bit of a slice. Mitchell with a really good take. Safe hands. She'll launch it quickly up the field. There's no one really over that side of the field. Probably had to go in the Sims direction. Payne just cruising on over. Maybe a little bit too casual. And Foot runs through. Sets up at the top of the box for Knight. Touches it through. Sims plays it out to Foot, who's offside. And does interfere with play in the end. A little bit overly keen. Foot trying not to deal with that one, but just too accurate almost from Sims. And Payne will shape to shoot, and she slips over, unfortunately. And both teams are starting to feel a little bit antsy here. The game really opening up. Kappa will head it down. More good foot in. Walsh and Mitchell make a bit of a 50-50 challenge, and Edwards sees it over the line. Lions just trying to get their shape. Capel has had a bit of space. Now finds Walsh and Moore for company. Abby White will make a switching play. Mia Smith trying to get open over there. White with some really good feet to get it to Foot. Little back heel. It's Knight! Whitney Knight with a really good finish for Devonport. They go 2-1 up. And that might be the nail in the coffin for the Lions. They've tried valiantly here. And nice little bit of play from Lucy Foote with the assist. And Whitney Knight, as I was saying earlier, she's had a few siders at goal, hasn't found it so far, and that's pretty clinical from the new strikers recruit. And unfortunate for Lions, I'd say they've battled very, very hard in this game. And potentially they've had a few windows of opportunity of their own to go 2-1 up. And now they'll have to battle back again. And just might be a little bit of desperation needed. Edwards up to Foote, who's beasted in there. Buford trying to shove through Mitchell. Mitchell gets up and gives her a shove for her troubles. And Davis trying to hurry up the strikers. She's probably just slowing it down in anything. And it's a bit of a talking to from the referee. Devoport just taking a little bit of time out of the game. And again, they're one goal to the good here. Ball will go through for Edwards. Here's Knight surveying the pitch. It's a really good switch of play. Here's Smith in a bit of space. And all coming in will be a corner. And this sort of position is just golden for the strikers at the moment. Can just take a little bit of time off the clock. No real threat the Kingborough will pose off a corner, at least immediately. They haven't really set up too aggressively here. Davis has come over to the near side, and only if the ball floats to the back post will she be an option here. And she's outnumbered by about 4 Devoport shirts. Back here, Knight just taking her sweet time with that one. And just surveying the field. She will get it in eventually. It's not the best delivery. It's away by Walsh. But again, no Lions out on this far side. So White will just slow it down. But Walsh showing that desperation. She'll play it long. Davis is in the area, but a little bit too long for her. And Smith puts it out of play. And Kingborough will have to get this one back in quick as they can. They do go Wiley into Fuchs. Payne. Edwards is the only option. There's no one in the midfield for Lions here. Edwards has to go wide. It's challenged by Sims and turns it over. Moore's challenge just misses the mark. Sims pokes it through. Edwards recovering, and she'll just send it out of play. Again, this is good for Devoport. Trying to sort out the added time through the coaching and the refereeing staff. A little bit of chat from the Kingborough bench. Kingborough not able to get through the wall of strikers midfielders though. Here goes Moore. It's worked very hard all game. Buford keeps it in, not quite. And now Devoport making the last couple of subs. Be Grace Sims coming off. Almost found the back of the net a couple of occasions tonight. And Lucy Foote with the assist for that second goal. Fantastic back heel coming off as well. And we have Emily Smith coming on. And Jenna Matthews, the last substitution for Devoport. So not much time left in this one. Here's Lashmar. Try and squeeze into Davis, who uses the body well. Again, just a little bit isolated, Laura Davis. Ball through to Lashmar. Sorry, Buford. Does not get to her, but it will be a corner for the Lions. And another... Davis will go short. Moore's come in here. She'll play it back to Davis. Oh, fakes her well, but touch is a bit strong. She'll go in now. Kanagisa doesn't get onto it and goes back out. And here's Knight in a lot of space. And whether she's just thinks to go for it. One-on-one with Payne. She'll go all the way. Knight with a ball across. Smith. What a tackle by Walsh. A little clip on behind. Nothing doing there from the referee, and McIntosh contains it. She'll send it long, but no one's up there for the Lions, and Wiley takes that one pretty casually in the end. Into Davis. Smith. And he'll go out to Emily Smith. Bidwell. She'll just launch it up the line and get it out of play. Again, it's all... it's really just do what you can here for Devonport. See this one out. And 2-1 win would be a very big result for them, you feel. I think this has been a tough matchup for them. But Kingborough are not done yet. Here's Davis in behind again. He's got Bidwell for company. Buford's in the middle. Bidwell's clearance is blocked. And does go out for a corner. Just rebounded back off Bidwell the last phase there. I think they're just sending everyone up here. Fuchs is coming. Ashmar's curler. It's away by Payne. Hasn't waited for a centre-backs to get up there. They do need to get it moving. More trying to turn the corner, and that's a terrific challenge from Knight. Doing it on both ends. And into more. Call comes from the Kingbrough just to get in the mix. Kanagisa in the wars today. Cops that one in the chest. Buford's wide. Edwards' ball is nice. Or it's Walsh who's drifted out wide, and that ball doesn't get through, and you feel that Kingborough trying to throw everything at the wall at the moment. It's nothing quite seems to stick for Knight for a longer shot again. Happy to pull the trigger from that sort of distance. Kingborough trying to get underway with it as quick as they can. McIntosh over to field that ball. And it's been a spirited effort from the Lions. I think they've been pretty solid defensively all games. Haven't been able to really get their counter-attack 100%. And just that last bit of magic from Knight and Foot. Really the difference in the teams at the moment. Davis trying to send it through. Go to Edwards. It's an interesting little ball over the top. Buford's kind of in there. So is Kanagisa. Wiley does very well to field that one, and we'll get it up the line to Jenna Matthews. Get taken off her. Buford with a bit of a rainbow turn. Doesn't happen, and we'll just get put out of play by Capel. Ball comes in. Kanagisa now. Edwards turns kind of out of trouble, but into trouble again. Knight just showing that experience and just lumps it into the corner. It's just like didn't have the run that she wanted, and thought, look, that's best place for the ball to be for us. McIntosh's ball is into Walsh, just about being Kingborough's best on today. Here's Moore. He's also put a big shift in. Kanagisa back into Lashmar. Fuchs. Ball goes forward. And early ball, bit of a challenging one for Mitchell. It just leans on it in the end. And that will be full-time. 2-1 to the Devonport Strikers. A valiant effort from Kingborough, though. And they will continue their unbeaten streak at the top of the table. Very entertaining game for the neutral here at Lightwood Park today. Two, well, really spirited teams, and good way to spend first day of women's or female football week. The winning goal coming from the foot of Whitney Knight. And Kingborough not to be their heads held down at all. Kanagisa getting them back level after going 1-0 down, and just haven't quite had enough to get over the line. I have to say Devonport definitely deserves something out of that game. But for Kingborough, they will think we can hang with the best of them in this league. So, as I said, very, very thoroughly entertaining game today here at Lightwood Park. And thank you so much for joining us. My name's Alex Mummery. It's been a pleasure to bring you the coverage, and we'll see you later on for the Launceston Derby.